Go to AWS website, sign into your console. So actually, I've already signed in my account. So for you, it will not come like this. So you need to create account on AWS. It's very easy. It's just gives you basic info, and it will let you create your account. I already have one. So what I do, I will go to my EC2. You can also search it from here. EC2 instance. Click on this. Here. So as you see, I already have one instance which is actually stopped. What I do, I just launch an instance. Click on launch. Just give it any names you like. I will give you n8n test 1 2 3. Let it all settings default because we are on 3 tier, so it will only allow us the 3 eligible tier virtual machine, which is okay for us. You can create a new pair of key pair. This will help you in login using SSH. So let me just create one. So I'm going to use PuTTY. You can use OpenSSH also. PuTTY is a tool. You just go to PuTTY website and it will let you download the tool. I will put the link in the description and you can use it from there. So I will give it a name. Let's say I give n8n test 2 and create a key pair. It will download in your downloads folder. I'm gonna let everything same as it is. I'm going to do this launch. It will take a few moments to launch your instance. Actually, AWS is quite fast in this. So just launch your instance very quickly. Just refresh it so that you can see. Yeah, our second one is running. Let me just go into this instance. So here's your public IP. I'm going to delete this one so that you can't use it. Okay. So how to use PuTTY to connect with this? So just you do PuTTY. You can easily download the tool PuTTY from the description link. Click on this tool. You need to give this IP address here. Give it a name so that you can save the configuration. I will do this AWS n8n 2. Go to this SSH because we need to put the key. Go to auth, go to credentials and browse the key which you just downloaded. So here it is, our key. You just do click. I will say go back to your session, means the where it was. I will save it so that we can use it before after termination also, and just open. It will prompt you and you just accept. So it will ask you a user and the user is EC2 underscore user. It is authenticated and now you're. I'm gonna put all the commands which I wrote here in a Git repository and put the link down in the description so you can follow up from there. So this is sudo yum update y. This will update your system if there is any updates. There was. Now we're gonna install Node.js. So first we're gonna do curl SSL. This command will download the latest repository, which is in our case we are installing Node.js 18. That's the version n8n supports. We'll do hit enter. Then we'll do sudo yum install y node.js, and it will install the node.js for us in our virtual machine. And for checking, we do node.js node v, checking the version. We have npm also. Yep, we have. Now we're gonna do sudo install g for global and n8n. There's no em actually, it's npm. So it will take a little time. I'm gonna stop the video and come back once it's done. So it got downloaded, and I think it takes 2 to 3 minutes to download it entirely. Now we just do n8n, so it will run our n8n and sure give us a link for our workspace. So we gonna go to security, and here is something called inbound rules. So we gonna go this security group and edit inbound rules, and here we're gonna add one extra rule, custom HTTP port range. We're gonna give it as 5678. We're gonna do any IP and just save. So now we added this extra port available. Problem is invalid actually. Okay, because here we see in our PuTTY that we are using HTTP, not HTTPS. So take it down and go. So we gonna come up with this error. So actually what is this error is all about is there's n8n always required either use HTTPS or you gonna stop the cookies by using this variable. So we gonna have a self-signed SSL certificate. As we see, it runs on our local host 5678, but we don't want to go to our AWS instance and do n8n every time, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a service out of it, so that every time server restarts, or let's say we stop it and we start it, it should always take up the n8n service automatically, n8n thing automatically. So how we gonna do? We're gonna make a file with using this command. So it's gonna give a prompt something like this, where we need to fill up the service file. So you can just copy this area down one. What it actually do, it gives a description at n8n workflow automation tool. It gives after, means you can just keep it like this. Start, it's gonna start from this your user bin n8n, because there we have the file. It restart whenever your server restarts, you have to give the user. So our user is EC2 user actually. We'll give that user here. EC2 user. Down one also we have to give our home path, that is actually home / our username, and we have a data folder where our file is gonna be saved once we make our workflows or our things. Once we are done with this entire thing, we're gonna do Control O. Down you can see the name of the file, hit enter. I'm gonna do Control X from the command. If you want to see what you wrote in the file, you do curl. You do cat, and it will show up the file which you just made. Now, for running the file or to make the service start, you copy this command sudo systemctl daemon reload. Easy. Then you enable the service. We just named our service n8n. Where we named the service, here we see while creating the file, we gave this name n8n to this service. And then just start your service. It will start your service. How you wanna know whether it starts or not? You can check the status by using st status. Start the service, and you can see all the data here. There it is. Now, if you go to your instance, that instance you used actually. Wait a second. Here it is. Go to this public DNS or the IP also. IP address also you can use. Go here, paste it here, and do 5678. That's the port. You hit enter, and you gonna face this issue which says you have to allow HTTPS, or you have to set the n8n secure key to false. So for this issue, we gonna generate SSL certificate. We're gonna use a self-signed certificate. If you have a SSL certificate from a particular domain, so you can use that also. We're gonna make our own SSL certificate here by using this following commands. So what it actually do, I'm gonna explain. This will install OpenSSL in your Linux instance. Okay, so actually apt is not a command. For Linux, we used yum actually. Okay, so it downloaded the SSL certificate. Actually, AWS always have it. So you don't need to download it as a separate thing. But we're gonna follow up this file actually. Now we are making a directory in etc, where we n8n creds, where we creds stands for credential actually, let it be, where we're gonna save the certificates. Now we're gonna copy this last command. This command will create your public and private key. So what it do, it use OpenSSL to make your new key. There will be a key called n8n key.pam, and there will be another key which will be n8n cred.pam. Okay, so for these things you can just do hit enter. Now we have already created the files. So now if we gonna go and see what the files are, we do ls, same folder, this ect and n8n. Check whether we have the files or not. So we have two files as we expected. Now check if you have the access of the file. Now we know, as when OpenSSL create the file, it gives it root access, not our user access. How we know what kind of access a particular file have or a folder have? We're gonna use this command. It's the same directory, ls underscore L will give you what kind of access we have on this particular directory. So if we see these file and create have a read access by all the user. If you see RW, you see in a big screen, RW underscore R tells this is a root, this is a group. So we have read access, but we don't have any access on this other file, n8n private key. That's actually key. So how we gonna give our user to that access is by following this command. This command will give our user to access of these files. You see, now if we see the same files, we're gonna say n8n p.pem. So this EC2 user now have the read access and write access on this particular file. Now we just need to use this SSL certificate in our service so that it use the certificates to self-sign our URL. So how we gonna do that? We gonna edit our service file. So we gonna do sudo nano that particular service file, hit enter. Now it opens the same file which we previously made. Now we gonna add some environment variables. So if you see, major data is same, the last things we gonna edit. So from here to here, actually we're gonna copy. And we're gonna paste. This restart line already there, so we're gonna cut this line. Now we have to change some things here. For public hosting, we need an IP address. That same IP address is available here. Just copy your instance IP address. And paste it here. For the port sake, we have the same port. The protocol is HTTPS. We are enabling basic auth, so you can put your username here, which will only be logged in your system so that nobody else use it. I'm gonna use my Gmail account. For sake of this thing, you can put any password. And rest is the keys which we just generated. Once we are done with this editing, we're gonna hit Control O, hit enter, and then we're gonna come out from this prompt by using Control X. Now all we need to do is reload our service. That we're gonna do by just doing this two commands. The last command is we have to restart the service. Okay, now we just gonna check the status by using this old status command. Okay, so we have a proper permissions, initialized, and it's live now. So let's go to our web and hit enter. Okay, it stops us. It's not use step setup. It says empty response. I think it will take a little time to be up and running. Now it's up and running too. Go to advanced and we go here. And here we have our AWS instance, launched our n8n workspace, and we're gonna use this for entire year for free. So now we just need to put some email which we're gonna use for making this entire thing. Give some name and our password. Okay, so password must be something good. And before we know, we are inside. Just put anything here. You can put any information. Let's say I do this. And it started. I will gonna skip this version, and we have our own n8n workspace live on our AWS instance. And if you like the video, if you like the setup, or if you want to know, if you have any questions, just comment me down below and I will try to answer them as quick as possible. If you like the video, please subscribe. It really helps me to grow and make more videos. Thank you.